Blessed be Yah, righteousness the King, fountain of living waters, the spirit and creator of all things. What I'm going to do here today is a re-recording of what I've done on previous shows. I went over the law on December the 6th, 2014 on Pal Talk. We received quite a lot of interruptions. But today we're going to do this as a pre-recording. That way we won't have as many interruptions as we had. I know some people could barely hear, and the way they was chopping it up, it was kind of hard to to follow up and to take notes. So today we're going to do just going to follow up on some of the subjects that we talked about. This is part one. I'm going to do a few parts of this, going over each and every subject that I went over on December the 6th, 2014. So we're going to start this recording off talking about the law once again, going over the household. We're going to go over the same chapters and verses that we went over on the previous session. And hopefully, y'all will bring this message out, and it will be more clear for those who want to study this, for go over the law, read it, study it, and apply it. So today, what we're going to do, I'm going to start off talking about the laws concerning the relationship between man and woman. So we're going to take it from Amos chapter 3, verse 3. And we're going to start there, and it reads, can two walk together except they be agreed? Okay, and the answer is no. Two cannot walk together except they be agreed. Okay. A relationship cannot build if two are not in harmony with Yahweh the King and his law. Okay, the sure foundation, the trial cornerstone must be this law. And that's the only way two can walk together. Alright, two souls cannot, walk together if they're, going the opposite directions. If their heart is going the opposite direction. Okay, their heart must be stayed on Yah's law, and that's the only way two can walk together. Whether it be man, female, or a relationship with anyone, friendship, family. Alright, two cannot walk together except they be agreed. And those are the type of things, for men and even the women out here who's, who's seeking a man, or a man who's seeking a woman. These are the things you must look for. Okay, the person whom you seek, are they about Yah or not? And as we can see in the book, when you had some of our forefathers who were about Yah, okay, and when they tried to join themselves with those who weren't about Yah, okay, their latter end was bitter, and Yah was not with them, because two cannot walk together except they be agreed. Okay, also as it states in Amos chapter 9, verse 9, alright, Yah's going to sift you away from any and whoever who's not about him. Okay, so for those out there who for the man, who's about Yah, and the woman who's not, or vice versa. Okay, if y'all not together on one accord, okay, Yah's going to separate you. No matter how hard you fight. Okay, no matter how hard you fight it, Yah's going to shift you away from who and whoever who's not about him. Okay. So those are the things we must look for, when we seeking a man. For you women out there, or for the women who's, for the man who's seeking a woman. Okay. So from there, okay, we're going to deal with the strange woman. Okay, and I'm going to take you once again, as you, of those of you who've listened to the Pal Talk we did on December the 12th, December the 6th, 2014. Okay, that recording that we did, okay, I took you over into Proverbs. As we know that Solomon wrote these Proverbs, these Proverbs are in harmony with Yah's law. And Yah, worked through Solomon, and Solomon wrote these Proverbs which are predicated on Yah's laws. Okay, so we're going to deal with the strange women, and also from those who's privy to the book, we see on our forefathers had taken on the wives of strange women. Okay, not necessarily meaning that they're from a different nationality. That doesn't qualify as a strange woman. A strange woman is a woman who's not about Yah of hosts, the king. That could be an Israelite woman. Israelite woman could be a strange woman also, if she's not in harmony with Yah's law. Okay, so we see what our forefathers have done in the time of Ezra, during the time of Nehemiah, and taking you all the way back to Genesis chapter 6. Okay, when the line of Adam, okay, when they went away and took on these strange wives because they looked fair to them, and that's all they was going by, is because they looked good. Okay, they were fair. Okay, it's the same way it's going on today. Okay, men are choosing women because they look fair. All right, they're not choosing them, okay, because their heart is in harmony with Yah, the King, and that's what we must do. All right. So going through these proverbs, we're going to look at the characteristics of a strange woman and how a strange woman can be detrimental, okay, to those who are about Yah, and how if you have a strange woman at this point, Yah's going to eventually sift you away from her, okay, because the foundation of that relationship is not predicated on Yah's law, which means that foundation is not built, is not strong. All right, so we're going to take you to Proverbs, and we'll start off in Proverbs chapter 2. Start with Proverbs chapter 2, and I'm going to go down to verse 16. Alright, Proverbs chapter 2, verse 16. And it reads, it said, to deliver you from the strange woman, even from the stranger, which flatters with her lips, which forsakes the God of her youth, and forgets the covenant of her strong one. Which flatters with her lips. Okay, she's emotional. She has a forward mouth. She speaks about a bunch of nonsense. Okay, and she forgets, all right, the God of her youth. Okay, she forsakes the covenant of her strong one, and we know this covenant that we are about to live by is Yah's law. She forsakes the law of Yah. Okay, when you tell her about the laws of Yah, she don't want to be about that. Okay, so why would you want to deal with a woman who forsakes the covenant of your strong one, Yah of hosts, the King? Okay, it's a waste of time, because no matter how you caught up in your feelings and you're emotionally attached to this woman, or vice versa, if the woman is emotionally attached to the man, it doesn't matter. Yah's going to eventually shift you away. Okay. So from there, we go to Proverbs chapter 5, and we start at verse 3. Okay. It says, for the lips of a strange woman drop as that which contains sweetness. Now I know it's mentioned honeycomb here. Honeycomb is mentioned here, but as I went over in the previous Pal Talk, okay, it should say that which contains sweetness. Because Yah has given us a land of milk and sweetness. Okay. The sweetness, okay, is that which the land, it comes from that which the land produces. The land produces the sweetness which are for human consumption. Okay. And it says, and her mouth is smoother than oil. She speaks smooth things to you. Okay. She tells you she loves you. She tells you, you're the only one for her. She tells you all these sweet things, to get you emotionally attached to her. Okay. And most, I want to say, for most of the time, it's deceiving. It's deceiving. Okay, because she would tell you these things, and because she has, for her own agenda. It's something about you that she sees she can get. It's something that she sees she can get from you. Okay, whatever the case may be. If it ain't about Yah of hosts, then it's gonna, it's not good. So, she tells you these things. She tells you she loves you. She tells you, she want to be with you and all these types of things. And if it's a money issue, she telling you these things because she wants money from you and things like that. All it would take for you is to lose your job, and here she running out the door on you. Okay. So you have to be able to recognize a strange woman when you see one. And the only way you can discern if a woman's serving Yah and if she's not is going to this book of remembrance, so-called Old Testament. Malachi chapter 3. Book of remembrance that Yah had written up, had put together for those who sought to call upon his name in our time. And by reading this book, that's how we can discern between who's serving Yah and who's not. Okay. And for you women out there who's seeking a man, if he speak not according to this law, it's because there is no light in him. Okay, Yeshaya chapter 8. Alright. It says, but her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Sharp as a two-edged sword. Okay. Her feet go down to death. Her steps take hold on hell, the grave. Okay, because she's not about Yah of hosts. She walks contrary to Yah's law. Like I said, we read over in Proverbs chapter 2, she forsakes the covenant of her strong one. And we know the latter end of those who forsake the covenant of Yah of hosts, the king. Premature death. The sword. Okay. He says, lest you shall ponder the path of life, her ways are movable. Alright, that you cannot know them. Her ways are movable, unstable as water. Those who seek after her is like chasing the east wind. Okay, her ways are movable, that you cannot know them. Okay, you cannot know the ways of a strange woman, but the woman who's about Yah. Okay, you understand her ways. Okay, you know her desire. Alright, and by knowing her desire, you know her ways, because your desire precedes your ways. Okay, whatever you desire in your heart, Yah's going to take you in your way, whether it's good or bad, and then you will be judged for it, whether it's good or bad. So dealing with the strange woman, you don't know her desire, you don't know, you don't know her ways. And how can you rest your head at night not knowing, your wife's ways, not knowing her desires, not knowing what she's up to, not knowing her agenda. Okay, her ways are unstable as water. She tells you she wants one thing, you give her that, now she wants another thing. You give her that, now she wants another thing, to a point you run out of time. You're not good enough for her anymore, so she moves on and finds another. And the same thing happens over and over again. Her ways are movable, that you cannot know them. right? Okay, so you gotta think about these things. Okay. So from there, I'll take you over to Proverbs chapter 6, next chapter over. Okay. And we'll start at verse 24. And it reads, it says, to keep you far from the evil woman, from the flattering of the tongue of a strange woman. Like I said over, we read over in Proverbs chapter 2, her words are smoother than oil. Okay. Lust not after her beauty in your heart, neither let her take you with her eyelids. Lust not after her beauty. Don't be as our forefathers done in the past, over there in Genesis chapter 6. Okay. In the book of Ezra, in the book of Nehemiah. Don't go after these strange women because they look good to you. All right, beauty is vain. Okay. You're supposed to seek after a woman, and the same thing for a woman. You seek after a man who's about Yah, host the king. Okay, beauty is vain. Lust not after her beauty. Okay. Lust not after her beauty. For by means of whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread. Alright, and the adulteress will hunt for the precious life. Okay, like I said, a strange woman, her ways are movable. Okay. She see, a woman has a husband, she sees something else she likes in another man, and there she go. Okay. And committing adultery is the same as committing murder. Okay. Same result. Those two are punishable by death. Alright? Okay, so from there, I'll take you over to Proverbs chapter 9. Okay, you're going to start at verses 13. We're going through verses 13 through 17. Alright, a foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knows nothing. Have no light in her, walking around in gross darkness. Walking in no direction. Okay, as if she go away of all the earth. Walking with no direction. Okay. Simple. Okay. Walking dead from the chest up. Okay. So, for she sits at the door of her house on a seat in the high places of the city, to call passengers who go right on their ways. Whoso is simple, let him turn in here. Alright. And as for him that wants understanding, she says to him, stolen waters are sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. Alright, but he knows not that the dead are there, and that her guests are in the depths of hell, the grave. Okay? Like walking into a trap. Like putting your hand in the snake hole. Like walking in the lion's den. Okay? Alright, so don't, when you see these things, when a woman speak pleasant things to you, alright, don't pay attention to none of that. Alright, if you have understanding, you discern by reading this book of remembrance, so-called Old Testament. Okay, if this woman is serving y'all or if she's not. Okay? She tells you stolen waters are sweet, deceiving. Okay? Deceiving. And those who take heed to her words, the direct path straight to the grave. Okay? Okay, so, from there, I'll take you over to Proverbs chapter 11 and verse 22. Okay, what does it say? It says, as a jewel of gold in the swine's snout, so is a fair woman which is without discretion. So is a fair woman without discretion. Okay. Just because you put, a gold jewel in the pig's snout, the pig is still filthy. You can't make that which is unclean clean. You can't make that which is filthy look precious. Okay, be precious, as I say, by putting gold in the swine's snout. That's the same way with a woman. No matter how fair she looks, if she is without discretion, if she is without this law, okay, it's an abomination. No matter what, it's an abomination. Okay. So from there, I'll take you over to Proverbs chapter 21. Again, that's Proverbs chapter 21. Okay. And I'll take you to verse 9. It says, "It is better to dwell in a corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house." Better to dwell in the corner on the housetop than dwell in a wide house with a brawling woman, a woman who's always about controversy, always argument, always trying to, just, she loves arguments, she loves fights. Okay, it's better to dwell alone in a corner than to dwell in a wide house with a brawling woman, a woman who loves controversy. Okay. And in this same chapter, I take you down to verse 18. Okay, or should I say 19? Excuse me. It says it is better to dwell in the wilderness, all right, than with a contentious and angry woman. And an angry woman. Okay. With an angry woman. Better to dwell in the wilderness. Okay, because you find no rest at home. You find no peace. There is no peace with an angry woman. Always strife. Contention. Okay, your man cannot rest his head in peace with an angry, strange, contentious, brawling woman. You would never find peace there. So no matter how emotionally attached you get to this woman, or no matter how emotionally attached the woman gets to the man, okay, if two are not walking together, they cannot be agreed. Yah's going to sift you away from whoever's not about him. He's going to take you away from them. No matter how hard you fight, no matter how hard you try to hold on to these emotions, it's not going to happen. Okay. Alright, so from there I take you over to Proverbs chapter 22. The next chapter over, we're going to deal with verse 14. Okay. And it says, "The mouth of a strange woman is a deep pit. He that is abhorred of Yah shall fall therein." So if you ain't about Yah, you're going to fall into the trap of the mouth of a strange woman. Which Solomon, says it's like a pit. You going to fall therein. If you're not reading this book of remembrance, so-called Old Testament, okay, if you're not obeying Yah's commands, if you're not reading, study, praying, and doing, okay, when a strange woman comes speak to you with smooth words, which are smooth as oil, as we read over there in Proverbs chapter 2, okay, you going to be deceived. Okay, when she opens her mouth, which is like a deep pit, you going to fall therein. Okay, you going to fall. Alright. Okay. A precept of that, you go over to Proverbs chapter 23. Alright. And take you to verse 27. It says, "For a whore is a deep ditch, and a strange woman is a narrow pit. She also lies in wait as for a prey, and increases this transgression, the transgressors among men. All right. It says, who hath woe, who hath sorrow, who hath contentions, all right, who have babblings, who have wounds without cause, who have redness of eyes. Okay, the strange woman. All right. Strange woman is as a narrow pit. Okay, as we just read in the previous verse in this same chapter. Okay. Alright. Well, as we read over in chapter 22, excuse me. Alright. Okay, and from there, like I said, we're dealing with a strange woman, alright? And now I'm going to take you to what a virtuous woman is, a woman whom we shall be seeking, alright? Who we shall find attractive, who we shall, the woman who we should want as men, okay? A woman that'll do good by you, a woman who sees Yah, her desires are towards Yah, host the king, okay? And by having this woman, you shall find peace. You should be, at rest, a peace of mind. You know her ways are not movable, okay? Her path, she walks on a straight path, all right, in the fear of Yah. Okay, so we're gonna deal with the virtuous woman, and I'm gonna take you back over the going back to Proverbs chapter 12, and I'm gonna start at verse 4. Okay, a virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, but she that makes ashamed is a rottenness in his bones. Okay, a virtuous woman is a crown to her husband. Okay. Like I said, he's at rest with this woman. He knows that woman is going to raise this, his seed in the law of Yah. Okay, he knows her ways. Her ways are not movable. Okay. He knows he's going to always find peace with this woman. All right. It's a crown. He goes up and down the streets. Okay. Talking about this woman. All right. She's a crown to him. Alright, not because she's beautiful, okay, but only because she's about Yah, the king. Okay, so you women out there, who's looking for a good man, which most of you claim you are, but you're looking in all the wrong places. Okay, if you truly seek a man, okay, you seek a man who's about Yah, the king. You be a helpmate to him. So there's no point of putting on all this makeup, getting hair extensions and putting on these little short dresses and thinking that's going to attract a good man. Okay, you reap what you sow. Okay, if you dress as a whore, okay, and you out and about looking for these men, trying to please them with your eyelids, then you're going to get a man, that's going to, bring you to grief. Right? But if you're looking for a man who's about Yah, okay, then once, like I said earlier in the session, you go to this book, and that's how you discern that that man is serving Yah and if he's not. Alright? So you can only be you can't be a virtuous woman through your beauty. You can only be a virtuous woman, alright, by having your heart set and desire to serve Yah, host the king. Alright. And from there I take you to Proverbs chapter 14. We'll deal with the first verse of this chapter. Alright. Every wise woman builds her house, but the foolish plucks it down with her hands. Okay, a wise woman builds her house. Okay. She builds her house. She raises these kids in the law of Yah. Okay, she raises these children. Okay, raises her sons to become men. She raises her daughters to become young women. Alright. Raising that boy Okay, by also leading by example. Okay, she leads her children to fear Yah, that their days may be prolonged upon this earth. She builds her house, while a strange woman she tears down with her hands. She takes her kids further and further away from Yah, destroying their souls, leading them to the grave. Okay, she prostitutes her daughters to be whores. Okay, and that was one of the curses on the children of Israel, specifically, Jerusalem. When you go to Yeshaya chapter 3, okay, will bring forth, children should be our oppressors, all right, and women shall rule over them. But nowadays you have the woman, Esau's got it set up to, or he got the woman controlling the household. And we see the world is, we see how it is today when we have these women raising the household who are not about Yah. Okay, young men have no direction, young girls, out and about, can't tell them nothing. Okay, so it's a mess. Okay, and, we brought this on ourselves because we didn't want to obey these laws, statutes, and commandments, which brings peace. So if you don't want to follow the roadmap which brings peace, then you're destined for destruction. You will never find peace. Okay, so a wise woman builds her house, all right, but a strange woman tears it down with her hand. And finally, dealing, like I said, this is part one of many parts. Okay, because I'm gonna do these sessions. Okay, which is basically going over what we talked about on December the 6th, 2014. Excuse me. That way you can, be able to, take notes and you can listen to it without any disruption. Okay. So, finally, I'm going to take you to Proverbs chapter 31, and we're going to read about a virtuous woman. All right. So, I'll take you over to Proverbs chapter 31. Okay, we're going to start at verse 10. Okay. Who can find a virtuous woman? All right, for her price is far above rubies. You can't, a woman who desires Yah, a woman who, a woman who loves Yah of hosts the King. Okay, who want to do nothing more but serve him, who fear him with a perfect heart. You can't buy that with money. You can't buy that. And you can't force a woman to be about that. She has to desire that in her heart, and there's no way you can't buy. There's nothing on this earth you can do to buy that. You can have to buy that. All right. This is the heart of her husband. Do safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. Hear that? She seeks wool and flax and works willingly with her hands. She is like a merchant's ships. All right. She brings her food from afar. She arises also while it is yet night and gives meat to her household and a portion to her maidens. Okay. I know a lot of men can vouch for this. Ain't nothing like coming home to a good meal. Okay, a nice cooked, a home cooked meal. Okay. There's nothing like it. A virtuous woman, she stays home and takes care of the household. She feeds the children. All right. She's a helpmate to her man. All right, and a teacher to her children. All right. She considers a field and buys it. With the fruit of her hands, she plants a vineyard. She girds her loins with strength and strengthens her arms. She perceives that her merchandise is good. All right. Her candle goes not out by night. The light don't go out on her. Okay, she's always seeking Yah of hosts. She desires to serve Yah, so the light does not go out. Okay. She never, she's, for us, that's, for the women that was raised in, who roots out of dry ground, okay, who at one point was walking in gross darkness, and when they found Yah of hosts, and he led them to this movement, Yah of righteousness, okay, which he brings out the truth through his servants, okay, when they take heed of that, they, the light doesn't go out. They never turn it back to the way they used to be. Okay, they're never going to walk contrary to Yah's law. Not saying they're not going to sin, because we all sin, all right, but their heart will always be perfect with Yah, and by their heart being perfect with Yah, the light ain't gonna go out. All right, she lays her hands to the spindle, all right, and her hands hold the distaff. All right, she stretches out her hand to the poor, yeah, she reaches forth her hand to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow for her household are clothed with scarlet. All right, she makes herself coverings of tapestry, and her clothing is silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates, and when he sits among the elders of the land, she makes, he sits among the elders of the land. Okay, talking about this woman and how beautiful it is to have a woman who's about Yah of hosts. Okay, she makes fine linen and sells it, and delivers girdles unto the merchant. She strength and honors. She strength and honor. Her strength and honor are her clothing. Excuse me. Okay, and she shall rejoice in time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom. Alright? Not speaking frowardness, she opens her mouth in wisdom. She speaks according to the laws of Yah of hosts. That's true wisdom. Just go and read the first 9 chapters of Proverbs. What is in Solomon, the fear of Yah is the beginning of wisdom. Okay? The fear of Yah is the beginning of wisdom. Her fear of Yah is wisdom. Okay? Alright, and in her tongue is the law of kindness, law of peace, the law of Yah of hosts the King. Okay, the law of Yah of hosts the King. Alright, she looks well to the ways of her household and eats not the bread of idleness. Her children arise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her. See that? He praises her. Okay. Many daughters have done virtuously, alright, but you excel them all. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain. See that? Beauty is vain. Alright? Vain. But what? Alright? But a woman that fears Yah, she shall be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. Okay? Now that's a virtuous woman. Alright? So, this is part 1 of many parts to come. Alright, concerning the laws of household, concerning the law between the relations of man and woman. Okay, we're going to be dealing with the children, and we're going to be going over basically everything we went over on the session we did on December the 6th, 2014. Alright, bringing it to you clear without any interruption, y'all willing. So, blessed be y'all, folks, the King, and to be continued. Y'all bless. Peace.